So I'm reading the book Stop Walking on Eggshells, and I got to a point of the second chapter where they were talking about, other things that people with borderline personality disorder may suffer from or may deal with, and it talked about lack of object constancy. So I want to read it. It says, when we're lonely, most of us can soothe ourselves by remembering the love that others have for us. This is very comforting, even if these people are far away, sometimes even if they are no longer living. This ability is known as object constancy. Some people with BPD, however, find it difficult to evoke an image of a loved one to soothe them when they feel upset or anxious. If that person is not physically present, they don't exist on an emotional plane, on an emotional level. The borderline may call you frequently just to make sure you're still there and still care about them. I want to read that one more time. If that person is not physically present, they don't exist on emotional level. To help the borderline understand and better cope with fears of abandonment, the person may keep a photo of you nearby or carry something that you gave them to remind them of you. In the same way that children use teddy bears and blankets to remind them of their parents' love. Letters, pictures, colognes, scents that remind the borderline of their partner are typically used. These strategies help the borderline, often reducing their anxieties and fears. Usually, the result is less clingy behavior, which can bring some relief to the non-borderline, okay? So, in this book, the non-borderline is a partner, family member, anybody that is in close proximity emotionally or physically to a borderline person, right? And I found this very interesting because whenever I've ever been in relationships, I've always thrown out everything that they've ever given me throughout that relationship because in my mind, it's literally, if you're not here, I don't think about you, So it's it's out of sight, out of mind. And people say that on a regular level, but it's very deep and intense for me. I don't need to have anything around you that reminds me of you, or else I'll never get over it, So that's a really big thing for me. And then also I have this blanket that my dad got me when I was 8 years old. And y'all, I didn't even realize until I read this. I remember looking up having an emotional support object or whatever, but this explained it a lot better. And I had that since I was 8 years old. Two, it has been with me through every single major life event. I just know that everything that I go through, I always make sure I got my blanket. I always make sure that I have my blanket. And I guess it just reminds me that my dad is there, my dad is with me. And even in relationships, I'll take a shirt of somebody of my partner, and I'll keep it with me, or take a piece of their pajamas or something, and I'll keep it with me, or some type of object, and I'll quote unquote steal it, but it's really just to make me feel they're close to me, and so that I'm not super clingy and weird, Another thing, my mom has this muumuu that I took from her at her house, and I actually let somebody use it, and I was like, okay, you got to bring that back to me because that's my mom's. That's really, really, important to me. So yeah, I'm very big on the lack of object constancy. I keep objects of people around me because I like to know that they're there. And one with my best friend, even with my best friend, I have a picture of us in my wallet, and then one in my car. I have my aunt's obituary above my thing, just to know that she's there with me all the time. There's a lot of things I do a lot. I'm not even noticing it, but I do it so much that it's literally a part of me. Yeah, but that was very interesting, and I really wanted to share that because it definitely helps me with fear of abandonment. And it's actually so crazy because I don't know, I can't explain it, but that's some old other shit I was gonna say, but we ain't gotta talk about that here. But yeah, I just wanted to share with y'all a lack of object constancy because it is very real for me. That's all, and that's it.